Court, the movie podcast where Sean
and Mampy
watch shit, talk shit, and most importantly, eat shit. We are the law.
And guess what we saw?
Better Man.
Better Man.
Starring people as Robbie Williams.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember who directed it. I don't remember who's in it. But gosh darn it, there's a monkey in there.
There's a monkey, folks.
And there's Robbie Williams, who's narrating.
Robbie, yeah, that was the actual Robbie Williams.
That was the Robbie Williams. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, all the recordings of live stuff are him singing.
Oh, that's fun, yeah.
I think they're from the original recordings.
It's actually...
Or it seemed like it was.
Yeah, stripped and maybe a little, remixed into the film.
Maybe.
Monkified.
They added a little monkey.
That shit.
Could you put a little more monkey on that?
Yeah.
Okay, so, first of all, a few things. One, Better Man, we watched it, and
we did.
What did you think about it? That's one thing I'm wondering, Mampy.
So obviously we can address this. There's a monkey in the movie.
There's a monkey in the movie, yeah.
Monkey in the movie.
The main character, actually.
The main character, most biopics about musicians, they choose some recognizable actor that is going to draw people in.
Say Timothée Chalamet.
Timothée, Rami Malek. Which I don't know if that was much of a draw.
He did win an Oscar for it.
He did win an Oscar for it, and that was amazing.
I saw a poster for some action movie he's in, and there was the Academy Award winner. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
For what?
For what?
I mean, I guess he's pretty good in Oppenheimer because he's not in it very much.
Yeah.
But other than that,
I liked Mr. Robot. I thought that he did
I never
good.
watched it.
It's a show. It's one of those shows, Sean. I know you're not a show guy.
I think I may have watched a few episodes of Mr. Robot, but I don't he's like a spy or something, right? He's
like a hacker who has a bit of split personalities going on.
That makes sense. Yeah. He's the perfect person to play. He's just one of those people who shouldn't be a non-freak.
No, yeah, he's got to be a freak.
If it's like a weird little freak, it's like, that's perfect. He's like a weird little terrifying little guy. 4 foot tall little creepy man. But for anything else...
I mean, I think he nailed the Pharaoh in Night at the Museum. I was like, wow, I buy that he is the Pharaoh.
Yeah.
A little freaky guy and freaky clothes.
Bury me with my servants must be alive when they die.
They must have been sitting around like, God, there's nothing to do. We've been
alive when they die. I mean, I guess everybody's alive when they die, but they must be buried alive with me, is what I meant.
Well, that's interesting. Are you alive when you die? Let's
tweet at us at Food Courtcast. We want to hear you.
We want to know what you think about this life.
Let's see in the comments.
Yeah, are you alive when you die?
See in the comments. So what did you think about this movie?
Yeah,
there's a monkey in it.
Yeah, I went in and I was like, I don't know who this person is. I don't know who this movie is about.
A surprisingly common complaint.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know who this is. And, which I guess he was more big in England, so it makes...
Very big.
Yeah, sense.
I mean, he was quite big here. Like, he definitely had a few big hits in, like, the early 2000s. But, I guess a person whose cultural footprint has not been long.
Yeah, and with the blur of a million people making it and music constantly, it's like, if you weren't like at the highest whatever for a long time, you're probably going to be very not recognizable. And that was the case for me.
Also, if you're not like, I feel like Fleetwood Mac and who else? Like, there's a few other groups that are like constant. I think they must own whatever company owns TikTok or something. Yeah. Because they're like constantly being remixed and brought back from the dead. And I love Fleetwood Mac, but it is just like such an obvious ploy to get us to keep listening to them that there's like everywhere I go, there's a remix of Fleetwood Mac. And I'm like,
well,
happening?
Fleetwood Mac is the #1 band in China. And China, as you know, runs TikTok.
Is Fleetwood Mac the #1 band?
No. That would be
maybe.
great if they were.
I mean, They probably are now.
Yeah.
That's the way TikTok works.
We're like, hell yeah, this is good. But
it really is.
So yeah, there was a lot against it. And I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. I fresh off the Bob Dylan movie, which, as you know, I wasn't a big fan of.
You know,
it's
like, one of those competent movies.
Yeah, like, but
okay.
So I was fully ready to hate it, and actually ended up really liking it. I had a good time. I
thought it was quite good.
Yeah, I was like, dang, okay, that was a pretty good movie.
It has going against it that I don't think if you don't know the Robbie Williams songs, they're not very instantly, like, catchy or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, a few of them. Like, the DJ one where they do, like, their first big dance scene is, like, kind of one of his bigger hits, and, like, that kind of sticks in the brain. But the other ones seem like they're... Maybe if I was a fan, I'd be like, oh, I'm excited to hear this, but, you know, whatever. But I, too, thought it was pretty good. Maybe not great, or maybe if I think about it again, maybe not even good, but I enjoyed a lot of it. I was definitely much more impressed by this attempt at a biopic than any kind of generic, boring attempt at a biopic.
Exactly.
Because one, they attempted to do, like, musical numbers, a crazy thing.
Which was nice,
in a musical. They had people dancing, and you could see them dancing.
Yes, I like
really
that.
Stupid stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They had people singing and moving around.
You gotta
and
move.
you could, in most cases, see them moving around.
I really appreciated being able to see things. That was really nice.
Pretty sad thing to have to be thankful for, but you just see them.
And, you know, for the most part, not too many just slow zooms on someone singing, which was really refreshing.
I was also like kind of thankful that they did different things with the choreography or with the way they portrayed the songs or dramatized the songs.
Yes.
Because, like, sometimes there would be a dance number. Sometimes, like, there are 2 or 3 big ones where it's like a dance number. Sometimes it's like a moment from his life where he's, like, on a TV show singing, and he's singing the song, but it also is, like, you know, he's fucked up on drugs or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's a few, like, there's one... I don't even remember when that one happens. There's one when he is, like, just driving in his car, being very self-destructive.
Yes.
It's right after he breaks up with Take That, I think.
Yeah, that was
Or they break
wild.
up with him, I guess.
Yeah.
And, that part is pretty cool, too. But, like, there's different things to see.
I see, I think that was the brilliance of picking the dumb monkey. You can do so much more creatively and actually emotionally. You're like, oh wait, you kind of strip away all the stuff that makes us judge the person almost.
Sure.
You're like, okay, there's just this like animal and which fits with a lot of his behaviors too, where you're like,
definitely,
this guy's out of control. But it's less, I felt myself judging less. Like if this was a person acting all this, I think I would have been way more like, oh,
this guy fucking sucks.
Yeah, that's exactly.
And of course he does.
He does, which I had a lot of that, but it's...
Admittedly.
Yeah, and it's good because you're like, oh, this stupid, dumb monkey, like, doing these moves, like, of course he sucks. It, like, helps. It helped me. I don't know. I feel like if it was a human actor, I would have liked this considerably less for some... It is... Which is strange. I really thought that was dumb. I was like, why would they put a monkey...
It's definitely a bad idea.
But also, it works in that, like, Sonic way where, like, the bad design of Sonic at first, where you're like, what the fuck? To get people, like, talking about... I mean, unfortunately, this movie's not doing very well.
It's making no money. But once people hear this episode, they're going to go, wow, I better check this out.
Maybe we should go see Better Man. Maybe it's a better movie than we...
Maybe it's a better movie. Maybe. It's also not a great title for a movie.
No, I don't... really
pretty
understand.
Forgettable, pretty instantly forgettable. I think he has a song called Better Man.
Okay, I was like...
but still.
Is that song in the movie?
I think it is.
Okay.
But who cares? You know, either way, it's not a great title.
It was interesting to not have the emotional attachment to the songs because he starts these songs, and it's not like in the Bob Dylan one where I'm like, okay, everyone knows this song.
How many roads? I got a great idea. How many roads must a man walk down? Actually, it's fully formed. How many roads must a man walk down before you can call him a man? The answer, my friend, I got the whole song.
Yeah, I wrote the whole thing. It's a brilliant song, and I did it in 1 second. I like that about this movie. They actually showed them like working through songs.
Yeah.
And for you,
they at least spend a day on it.
Exactly.
Well, which is very nice.
I love the montage. It's like, okay, time is passing. He's writing this. And he didn't share his songs for a long time. I was like, okay, this is an actual person who is working through things, not just...
And there's a dramatic arc.
Yeah.
He's like, he has good times and bad times. Mm-hmm. He has happiness and sadness.
Yes.
He's working against something. Like he's kind of a poor piece of shit. And he like has to get lucky and also work hard, and it's a combination of those two things which make him who he is. And there's a story in it, which is another good idea that if you're trying to make a film, you should have like a story.
Yeah, and I think that there's something to be said for covering more time, like cover the whole career.
Yes,
because just this is a block of time. Yeah, there's not much of a story to tell. Anyway, we don't have to talk about Bob Dylan anymore.
We don't have
ever
to
again.
Actually, what I'd like to do is talk about Better Man, but it's spoiler time.
Yes, yeah.
I regret to inform you it's spoiler time now.
Yes.
We've given you our general idea, and basically, if you like Robbie Williams, you will think this is an amazing movie.
Yeah.
And if you don't know him or anything, you'll be like, if you like musicals, this is a pretty good musical.
Yeah.
I say. If the music was like 1,000 times better, it would be 1,000 times better. I think that is the main thing holding it back as a musical is like the songs maybe are perfect. I bet if I listened to them and was like just looking for a good pop song, it might be a nice thing to listen to. But they're not that sort of instantly like I'm gonna walk to the car and I'm gonna be singing these.
Exactly.
When you're a jet all the way. On your first cigarette. There's like not that kind of thing. But there is at the very least. You see like people moving as one. Mm-hmm. There's enough space between the camera and the actors that you can see what moves they're doing.
Yes, I love
and
that.
Also a lot of the choreography is pretty cool.
No, the choreography is cool. There's some real like actually really well thought out emotional points that are like kind of mirrored in the film. And I was like, wait, I did not expect this to do any of this stuff. And I thought they did, for the most part, pretty good with it. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, there's definitely a few moments that we will be spoiling, that I will be spoiling in my Euros, that are like just visually novel. Or at least maybe not novel, but at the very least visually thoughtful. Which is definitely a thing that I do not expect from music biopics.
Especially one starring a monkey. Yeah. I went, wow, okay, I'm feeling things. This is interesting.
Yes. Almost instantly.
Yeah.
If you're into emotional, like, tearjerkery movies, this is a good tearjerkery movie.
I'll tell you what, I cried maybe 3 or 4 times. And I went, wow, they got me good.
Some people are good at that, and director of this movie is quite good at it.
Quite good, yeah.
But it's spoiling time.
Spoiling time.
Tell us about your Euro. What's the best part of this movie, Better Man, Mampy?
My beef lamb Euro of Better Man.
Tell us.
Is this beautiful parallel at the end of the picture. So this is a big spoiler. So if you want to go see Better Man, pause the pod right now.
Yeah.
Go get a ticket.
Go see it.
At Regal. We are a Regal centric podcast.
A non-paid. We are not paid for this. We just love it.
Man, I wish Regal would sponsor.
Hey,
it'd be so much
Regal, tweet at us. I love Regal.
Yeah. Hey, thank you for the unlimited thing.
I genuinely love it
every month, but so far it still equals out.
It's still the equal. Yeah.
Once it gets up to like 50, I'm gonna be like, this is kind of you get it.
It's still in the 20s, right?
Yeah, it's like I think it's like $29.99. So.
Oh, maybe it's more expensive in big old NYC.
Big old and all that. Well, I still have myself registered in a different town, so
smart. Yeah.
Anyway.
Hope not LA.
No. Which love out to you. We send out the good
to
feelings.
You, Hollywood.
Good luck to everybody.
Good. Yeah, I
except
don't
the
know
evil
what we can
ones.
do for you.
The bad ones.
Yeah, that's a thing that I've always thought would be a good news broadcast. Is like, there, fucking Krasinski had that stupid like, this is only good news. I'm in my 40s and I want to tell you about good news.
Good news.
I don't want to hear about that. I want to hear about like, okay, this guy who was he worked for any sort of evil company, insurance, the police, he was a priest, whatever. Any of these the inherently evil things, he burned in the fire.
Yeah, he's dead now.
Just cool. Just tell me that news.
It freed a lot of people from their tyranny. That would be cool.
Up next.
Ta-da-dum.
In LA, it's bad. It's mostly bad, but here's a little treat.
Here's a little treat for
this man who has like 7 dogs and they're always outside barking. And he got burned alive. Is that too much?
No update on the dogs, but we'll keep it.
I mean, the dogs are dead too, but it was worth it.
Oh, gosh. We're all in, we're bringing light to the dark, folks. Light to the dark.
Also, I will say, truly, like, the people who have that kind of dog, you don't want to be around that kind of dog anymore. No. That's a scary fucking dog that's, like, out all the time. Like,
and they're miserable. Their lives, they're in a better
hungry
place. And as we know, all dogs go to heaven. So they're at peace now. The guy, though, more fire. And there's also this really bad AI image going around of like a Oscar or something like sitting in the ashes. It's like all like, and all these actors are like, this image is haunting. And I'm like, this isn't real. It's
like the award or
the
award?
The award.
Okay.
Yeah, the award.
Okay.
And it's just like sitting there, only the bottom's burned. Like he's completely. You're like, what? This makes no sense. Anyway, so
you loved a part of this movie.
I did love a part of this movie. Let's get out of that zone and go into this one.
We don't need to talk about that.
No, but hey, it's current events.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Unless it's 2095. You were listening from 2095. This is what happened in the past.
Now we have to worry about ice tornadoes that are tearing through the country.
Absolutely.
As we speak.
Yeah, this is certainly the person listening in 2095 is one of the last 15 people on Earth.
Yeah.
There's no way.
They're just so bored looking for things to do. They're like, oh, a movie podcast. All right.
Oh, what the fuck is this shit? Yeah. Well, I got nothing else.
I can't wait till aliens unearth this podcast. And they're like, maybe I'll check out Better Man.
The thing underneath says, I don't really like it.
I didn't really like it. I thought it kind of sucked.
I don't like the podcast and I don't like the movie.
Yeah, I didn't like either. Now that you're in real trouble. If you don't like the movie or us, this is dangerous territory.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
And what isn't dangerous territory is my favorite part of the movie.
Is it the best part of the movie?
This may have been the longest stretch between me starting.
Yeah.
We've got some records in there, though.
We open our minds.
We do. Okay, so early on in the movie, they present...
What do they present?
With a young Robbie, a little monkey boy, and his dad watching Old Blue Eyes. I think that's what they call him, Frank Sinatra.
Yes, until the end of his life when he was Old Red Eyes.
Old Red Eyes. And what is a man? What has he got? He's got a serious eye condition caused by drinking too much.
Yes.
Perhaps. But when you get old...
He's a great man, though.
Yeah.
And he did it his way.
Hey, he did it his way. He's got me under his skin. Mm-hmm. Let me out. Let me out. I can't breathe. I'm under his skin.
Yep.
And anyway, the dad and the son are like dancing and listening to the song. And it's just like a really sweet moment. Of course, it's interrupted by the dad losing it on him when the boy hits the antenna. But before that, it's beautiful. And later on in the movie, after the dad and son have had this, like, they kind of came back together, but only because Robbie was getting famous and very apparently so. But Robbie's like, I need my dad, so I'll take it. But he's also struggling with drugs. So they have a blowout. Then they don't see each other for a long time. Then he invites him to this big, like, show where he's kind of doing like a strip down, just like singing little songs to folks.
Cabaret show.
Cabaret. I may do cabaret, but I do it the best. Is kind of his vibe. Yeah.
But you fucks.
You fucks. Yeah.
Eat shit, you dirty cunts.
We love it. And and so he invites his dad on the stage and they have like a beautiful moment, and they even like cut back and forth between him as a kid and him as an adult. And I was like, this was a beautiful little bookend, and I really liked it. And I was like, oh God.
Yeah.
I think anyone who's had any, strain with their fathers is like, Daddy.
Yeah, that too was my best part.
Yeah. Oh wow.
That was my Euro.
No, because I went, dang, it hit it perfectly.
It's really good, and it's also one of those things where like it's kind of obvious that eventually it will come back.
Yeah,
like they wouldn't sing this together if it wasn't going to come back, but. The way it comes back, and I don't know how they do it just right. Yeah, but they do it just right. And he comes out, and he's sing, and it's just a monkey singing with his dad. But you're just like, this is so sweet. I'm glad they finally got together.
Finally,
his mom's there, and he's like, "This one's for you, Nan." You love his grandmother a lot. Oh, it's just really good stuff.
The only thing that would have improved it is if, as they were doing this final performance, everyone in the crowd starts becoming a monkey as well. The dad grows a monkey hair, the mom, and then they're all...
Or he peels off his monkey face, and the real Robbie Williams is under there.
Yeah, the whole time.
It's me.
It's been me the whole time.
I did it
I was a monkey.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's probably my Euro as well, but I'll double down and I'll just get a second Euro.
Okay.
This is also quite a funny movie. We haven't even mentioned that.
Yes.
It's quite funny. There's a moment where Robbie realizes he's been in this pop boy band called Take That.
Yeah.
And they've been very famous. Excuse me. And then they're like, "Hey, Robbie, you suck and we don't want you to be in the band anymore." Because you're all fucked up on drugs all the time, and you don't like bring your microphone on stage and stuff like that. And so they bring him together for an intervention, and like you see him drive up to the lead singer's house, and they show all the guys, and they're kind of looking a little forlorn, and then they like cut behind Robbie, who is on a swing, swinging from a tree.
Yeah, it was really nice. It
was really good. And he also steals their water. Well, he doesn't steal it. He asks to take the watermelon with him. They're like, okay, we decided we don't want you to be in the band anymore. We're a 4-piece now, whatever. Mm-hmm. And he's like, okay,
all right.
And he's like, can I have this?
Yeah, that was great.
And he takes the watermelon with him. And then after that, he has a really sad drive where he almost kills himself.
Yes, but he also took care of the watermelon and buckled it up.
That's true.
Somewhere in the bottom of some river or lake is the watermelon in a seatbelt. I wonder. What would happen to a watermelon submerged for all this time? I wonder.
I feel like it would turn into mush, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know.
Or would become
How
a super
thick is the skin of a watermelon? It's pretty thick.
This is another question I'm going to pose to the listener.
Meet us in the comments.
How thick is a watermelon? Let us know.
How long would a watermelon last underwater if it...
We need the
I don't even know how to ask the
Mythbusters
question.
crew to test.
Yes.
How great would this podcast be if it cut over to them and they're like, hey guys, it's the two
it's
of
the
us.
Mythbusters. We checked. Yeah, I don't know. Which ones are alive?
Adam and
They're
Jamie.
also old, right? They're both alive?
People come and go into your life and out of it, and they were the ones that went out, and I haven't checked in. I need to check in.
I hope they're okay.
Me too.
Hey, if you're watching, tweet at us, Mythbusters. Tweet at us at Food Courtcast. We'd love to hear from you.
The myth is that they're still alive, and we hope that is not busted, but it could.
Don't bust that myth.
No,
Prove
please.
that you're still alive.
Please.
You know what else I love?
What?
So there's a moment. This is in one of his 1,000 worst parts where he's deep in the hole.
Yeah.
And his grandmother has died. He's kind of alone at the old house.
Yes.
He's like watching an old tape of a TV show they used to watch together, some British comedy. And he like lays down on the couch, and in the reflection, his grandmother is there, and he's laying his head on her lap. Oof. And then when they cut back to him, it's just him laying alone.
Tragic.
And it's really just like one of those things where I was like, that's just a good idea. Great job.
There were so many good visual ideas, and I like to see it. It's so funny. I know I should think this is a dumb movie, but I was like, they're really going for it, and it was like felt so genuine. I was like, they're really just trying to make a good movie about this.
Yes. Yeah.
Life.
Who knew?
Who knew? And we've all heard. We all know fame and stuff fucks you up, but it for most part, like it didn't feel like so like okay, we get it. Like all those, like we were talking about last week, like the scene where someone's like, hey, you want to try some drugs?
Yes.
Where it's like, okay, this is so tired at this point.
No one tells him that. He's already doing the drugs.
Yeah.
He's like, these are great. Yeah. I'm so excited to do these drugs.
Exactly.
You ain't got to tell me. I love drugs.
Yeah, I love drugs.
I'm a heroin addict, baby.
I did like we can kind of work backwards through the movie. There's a part where Robbie, he's like really another end of the rope. He's destroyed his house. It looks like absolute shit. There's glass everywhere. He's trying to make a stack of what seems to be peanut butter toast or bread with peanut. I don't know what he's doing.
Who knows?
And he's got on this insane like diver suit with like a suction section. That's like a hose that plugs into it, I guess.
It's supposed to make you thin, right?
It sucks your fat out or something. I don't know what it does.
Sounds great. I would love that.
I would love that. Get me 6 of those. Welcome to the podcast. Yeah, that could be pretty cool. 2 skeletons.
Hey there. Welcome. Let me get my neck real. Okay. For listeners, I was trying to get less fat.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
Didn't work.
Didn't work.
Didn't take. But
I was trying to get less fat, but it didn't take.
It didn't take. He is plugged up to this machine while he's having this like big fight with his friend, and he's like, "Look where I'm at. You're on the bottom." And he's like in this like trash pit, pizza on the walls, like just disgusting, sucking fat out of it. And so just like, this is tragic.
It's really fucked up, and he's so brutal to his friend.
Yeah, he's like
his friend who's like been in and out of the story for the whole time.
Yeah,
and his friend is like, you're always complaining, and like, I have no money.
Yeah.
And I never see my daughter.
Exactly.
And Robbie's like, fuck you.
You want money? Yeah. It's like, no.
Oh, yeah.
That's brutal. That'll fix it.
Yeah.
Clearly, that fixed all your problems.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt. You could give me some money.
Exactly.
That would be nice.
Yeah, something. A little
Give me a little money. Sure.
Yeah, treat me to a dinner sometime so I don't have to pay, upwards of $100. We keep going to these expensive places. Like, dude, let's just go to O'Charlie's or something.
Yeah, whatever.
They would have been open back then.
British version of O'Charlie's is.
Yeah, whatever.
Just Charlie's, I guess.
Yeah, just
They don't like the O.
No, Charlie's.
No.
Not gonna happen.
What is more British? Charles's.
Charles. Old Charles's.
But no.
Oh,
the O is too
old?
Irish.
Old? Would old be too?
Old Charlie's. That'd be fine.
Old Charlie's.
But as long as it's not like Irish Charlie's, they'd be like, you fucking Irish.
Yeah, we're not going there.
I don't like it.
We don't like that.
Okay, here's another good part.
Okay.
Robbie meets his girlfriend.
Yes.
He meets her on, is it New Year's Eve or is it birthday? Who knows?
I think it's New Year's Eve because they got the masquerade.
That's true. It's New Year's Eve masquerade ball. And he meets this girl who's in a girl group.
I forget the name of it. Yeah.
Who knows? It's like, lady, take that.
Just say it. Something like that.
Just say it. It's like, go on,
all
girl.
Time.
Party time.
Party time, guys. Yeah.
And they begin to, they like have this nice back and forth. And he's like, you have no idea. I mean, he's nice about it, but he's like, you don't know what I'm going through. You know, it'll sound stupid if I tell you. And she's like, I'm in the girl group. And
yeah.
Like, pew, pow, pew, pow.
Pew, 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 pew.
And then they do a dance, which also shows the entirety of their relationship.
Yeah.
Like you see an abortion in their relationship during their dance. And you're like, wow, this is pretty fucked up.
It was. I'm telling you, that's this whole movie. It's just like you're seeing something like, oh, this is fun and silly, and then they interweave just deep, crushing stuff where you're like, whoa, wow, but like effectively and not like so dry. Like that scene, I was like whisked away into romantic fantasy, and then I was like, oh, fuck,
yeah,
that.
It's pretty fucked up to like show the first time people meet, and it's very romantic and beautiful, and also within the dance show that everything will come crashing down.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's
pretty
rough,
powerful. I thought,
but like a great idea.
Yeah,
and well, we're not in the bad part yet, but I thought in some ways, it, like the rest of their relationship wasn't as necessary because of how how deftly they handled it. Like some of the stuff was nice to have it unfold, and you see like what those glimpses actually were. But yeah, they just so quickly were like, this is you know he's a drug addict and he's an egomaniac, so of course it's not going to go well. But isn't this nice?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Great job, guys.
I thought that scene was so fun and like another good like musical dance numbery type thing with like fireworks and stuff. And I was like, oh, this is sweet and mixed in obviously with the sad, but I thought another one I liked jumping off the musical numbers, I liked the boy band big number where they're like going through London and I thought that I was like, this is fun. This feels like an old musical with obviously today's version. Yeah, I liked like when they stopped the motorcycle in the song. They're like, stop!
I wanna stop.
That was great.
And I thought the choreography in that is quite good.
Yeah.
There's lots of cool stuff happening. They're like going in and out of shops, and it also is. Like a good way, it's like a good transition of time because like throughout the musical number, like their outfits are changing a little bit, their haircuts are changing a bit, like they're getting into their very weird like pop star haircuts and stuff. Like one guy has cornrows, and really crazy shit. It's just good. Great job, guys.
Yeah, seeing that guy, the white guy with like, I don't know what he was going for, with like the long, almost pseudo dread.
It kind of looked like Korn. It looked like the lead singer from Korn. But I don't know if those were at the same time. Tweet at us.
Who knows?
Were those at the same time? Was he trying to look like Jonathan Davis?
Yeah.
Wait, is that his name?
Oh.
Tweet at us, Jonathan Davis. Are you the lead singer of Korn? If you're not, we don't want to hear from you.
We don't want to hear from you. It's okay. You can keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that scene was so fun. I was like, oh, This is cool. I'm having a good time. I don't know the song, but it's I
think also the best song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I treated it as if it was just like made up music for the movie. I was like, yeah, they're just making this up right now.
Or if they did a musical, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I didn't know any of it. I thought I was waiting. I was like, something's going to come up. Nothing. I don't know any of these.
It's weird because I don't remember which was his most famous song. I have no idea. I know. Did I already tell you this? At some point in high school, I'm old enough that Take That was like still around, and we did something. We sold enough somethings, or one of those things where you have some like contest and you have to do this much stuff. Well, we did it. And Take That was going to come to our school and perform.
Are you serious?
But they never did.
Oh, no.
I think they broke up before or something happened, but they never came.
So we could cut into this movie right before they fire him. You all
just me
eagerly. Wow, they're gonna.
We get to see Take That.
Yeah, we get to see.
I remember being like, "Okay, I know their one song."
Yeah, I know that one song.
Sure, sounds good.
Sounds great to me.
Yeah, I also liked how down to earth in like not a bad way this was.
Yeah,
like the fact that like there's a lot of swearing. Like, there's no, like, they never swear and they just, like, act like people who aren't real. Exactly. Like, lots of swearing. They also, like, Take That got their start in like, 50 gay clubs.
Yeah, that
like,
was
just,
wild.
Like, performing their songs in the middle of a gay club. And it's, like, in, like, leatherwear.
That was wild.
And then, like, they switch over to performing in front of girls, and the girls are just going fucking insane. It's cool.
I mean, I've said it for years. Girls are just gay men. It's the exact same. I mean, come on.
Thank you. There's no difference.
Literally.
There's no difference.
I did like how Robbie being promiscuous led to them getting the record deal. Like him getting with that one girl where the manager catches them like having sex, and he's like, no, and he just is finishing himself off, staring at the. I was like, "This is insane."
Really insane.
But then that turns out to be the daughter of like the record label guy, and he's like, "My daughter really likes."
Yeah, my daughter says you're amazing.
I'm like, that is wild.
My daughter says she jerks you off backstage.
Yeah,
cool.
I love it. Love it.
Hey, if my daughter's gonna jerk you off, then I'll jerk you off.
Also, this scene I felt like was a real chance. It could have been really stupid. But
yes.
I don't know, maybe it's just the little gamer anime guy in me, but I actually like.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I actually like the scene where he's like. The whole movie, they set up his demons, like himself, in the crowd. And at one point, he just finally is just like, fuck this. And he just goes out in the crowd and starts killing all of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is pretty fun.
It's cool. It's cool. And it's also like, this is a different scene.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of the things that I like about it is that there are... everything is there, or at least there's not the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, exactly.
Things are presented in a different way. He's doing this like biggest concert of his life, and then he like freaks out and he starts killing people in the audience. But they're himself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Throughout his own self is looking back at him.
Yes.
And do you have any other good things before we talk?
I was gonna just say it'd be crazy if it did a smile too thing where like. He like realizes he's really just been killing everyone in the audience.
That'd be cool.
Oh,
how come there aren't any? I guess it's just the Weird Al one. There's like no biopics where people don't do the things that are real.
You gotta add in some fun, right?
Come on, fake it.
I did like him getting killed at the. Sorry, spoiler alert. Never mind.
Who getting killed? Weird Al?
Yeah, he gets killed
spoiler
in his. I love that one. I thought that was really nice.
That's the way they should do it.
They should just do it all the time. It's like when Hitler gets his face blown away in Glorious Blasters, Inglorious Blasters.
Inglorious Blasters.
Inglorious Blasters. I love stuff like that. Yeah. But when Robbie stabs himself as a kid, I was like, oh, damn, that's sad. He's like, no.
And when he's fucking on a frozen lake cutting his wrists.
I was like, jeez.
It's really fucked up.
Yeah, it's like, good lord.
Yeah. It goes there in ways that like even like A Star Is Born, which is probably ostensibly more sad because there's an actual spoiler alert suicide. Like this somehow goes for it harder.
Yeah.
It's like he's just like cutting his fucking wrists and he's crying.
And I was like, jeez.
And it's like he's just like whispering the words to a song and like cutting his fucking wrists, and you're like, Jesus Christ, this is fucking insane.
I mean, the emotional heights, no one could have prepared me for that. I was like, this is gonna be fine or bad or whatever, but I was like, well, they're doing it.
Yeah. I think it's quite effective emotionally. Like, most of the emotional beats got me. Like the actors who are in it are good enough that they're sort of all instantly likable or hateable, depending on which one they're supposed to be.
Yeah, very much. So.
His dad is like really good at walking the line between those two things, where you're like, I get why he loves him, I get why he wants to be him, but also like, what a piece of shit. But and also at the same time as like kind of like a pathetic loser like him, I'm like, I sort of understand what he's doing.
Exactly, yeah.
Even though it's bad to leave your son to go perform horrible stand up in front of no one. But still, I get it.
I'd rather perform to one person. It's like, oh man, yeah, but you didn't do that for me, could you, Dad? I was like, God, jeez. This is just
It's good.
Life is a crazy ride, but I would err to say it is probably better to stay with your family rather than chancing on becoming, because I don't even think if the dad had blown up, I don't think he was like gonna, I'm back, like come back. Hey, I made it. And now I'll lift you all up. He seemed like just like not a good guy.
Yeah. But you know,
hey,
they got together once again.
Exactly.
Which is nice.
Which is very sometimes you have to become big.
That's true.
To see it in others and go, I get it. You wanted this so
and
bad.
To see also who's the bigger man.
Oh.
Sometimes you have to be the bigger man and the better man.
Better man.
Okay, there's bad things.
There are bad
A few. There's a few bad things.
There's a few bad things.
I will say my worst part, my low main, the absolute worst part of this movie, is I think there's too many audience monkeys.
Yeah, I can see that.
From the first moment he performs, there's like a version of him in the audience who's like, you suck. You're gonna fail. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But there's like 3 of them at every concert.
Yeah, it's like, geez,
which
all right.
just seems like even if one of those concerts or 2 of those concerts had him having like a good time and no internal monologue.
Yeah.
Now maybe his life wasn't like that, but it does seem like, okay, we get it with the monkeys.
Yeah.
And they turn out, like the way they turn out is good. Like the big battle with them is good. And also like the final moments where the monkeys are watching him and they're happy to see him like succeed works really well. It's just like there's like one too many. It's like,
I agree.
Okay, we get it. There was some point in his life when he just had a fun concert.
Sure, there had to.
Right?
We hope. Well, who knows? Actually,
I mean, who knows? But
thinking on the way he handled it, maybe not.
Maybe,
he did have some true deep things he should have maybe worked out in therapy. He probably was in therapy, but
I think eventually.
Yeah, I mean,
he probably was.
Which, as a performer, I feel like every performer gets that, like, you're your worst enemy. Like, you
Sure.
can keep yourself from having a good show or not.
Oh,
Well,
absolutely.
some shows are unsavable, but
Some shows are the audience's fault. We're not supposed to say that,
yeah,
but
I mean,
some-
it does happen. Let's just be
it happens
real.
all the time.
Yeah.
I've performed for a lot of terrible audiences.
I hate when people say it's never the
Sometimes it is. Now, I've performed for audiences where I'm like, this crowd won't like me, but certainly they'll like this guy.
Yeah.
They'll like a guy who's totally different than me. Oh, here's this like black guy who's real high energy. We're like our jokes are totally different. And he goes up and he bombs. It's like, well, you just don't. You're just a bad crowd.
Yeah, this was never gonna work out.
No, you guys don't like to have a good time. This is your fault entirely.
Or that time we were both on this show at that brewery in Atlanta where the air conditioning didn't work, middle of summer. Everyone's miserably hot. And we're just like, this is just not good.
Awful.
Yeah.
I mean, it might have been 100 degrees in there.
That was maybe my worst show ever.
It was close to 100 degrees, and we were just like, hey, you guys ever gone to a place? I was just like,
Dead silence. Everyone's burning up their still drinking beer.
just like desperately trying to get the cold beer into them. And then they're getting hotter as they drink the beer.
Yeah.
It's like, well, the beer's cold, but it's making me sweaty.
That was an Atlanta heat. That was no joke. I was like, good God.
Yeah. I won't say it.
All that to say, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
He's right. Bobby's
yeah.
right. Every crowd sucks.
As a movie,
Fuck you.
Fuck you. You could take out, because it did get like, every time we have a concert.
Just have one. Just one.
Just one.
Somewhere in the middle.
Even it could just be a flash. One flash, or then he goes, okay, whatever, I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm performing now.
Yeah. I'm having a good time for once in my life.
I'm doing it. Okay. But, I mean, it was good to show, like, his neuroses, I guess. Like,
yes.
hey.
I thought that was a good, what is the word?
Thing.
Good
thing.
I love to be very specific with my words.
Such a
that
good
was a
thing.
nice stuff.
It's nice stuff they had happen. There. Images on the screen.
Metaphor?
What is it for? I want to know. Let me know.
Bum, bum, bum.
Oh, that's a good song.
Bum, bum,
Metaphor.
bum, bum, bum.
What is it for? I want to know.
Metaphor. Aha. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
Well, it's actually a very useful device.
Well.
I agree. I also thought, as with every movie, felt a tad long.
God.
It's like, all right, I'm having a good time, but sometimes it's like you've been at the party a little long. You're trying to make your way out the door and you keep getting caught in conversations. You're like, this is still pleasant, but
I'm still having a good time.
Do have to leave.
I gotta get out of here.
I can see the door, but it's like the door's stretching like in a dream. Like,
yeah.
all right, let's get out. I can't quite.
If, like, the final concert started at, like, 93 minutes in, and it's over by, like 2 on the dot.
Yes.
Oof.
Done.
Because it is, as much as they do their best to, like, change everything up and, there's a lot of him fucking up.
Yeah.
He just, like, fucks up in different ways.
Fuck.
Is mean to different members of his family, or different members of his family are mean to him.
Yeah, classic.
He loses people that are close to him and either gets them back or they're dead, so you can't get them back. Yeah. But, like, that's the story. If they did it in 2 hours. Ooh. Oh.
I dare say it'd be a better movie.
Yeah.
But
say it.
I'll go ahead and say it.
It would be better.
It's rare that any movie would not be better by being just a little bit shorter, I have to say. I'm noticing more and more.
I wish I wasn't this person, but I do agree.
Trim.
I just think there's some movies that could be longer.
True.
Like Rocky 4, which like cuts crazy. Like sometimes you don't even really feel like the scene is done.
Oh wow!
Like you could give them like 2 or 3 more seconds in every scene, and that would be fine. But still an amazing movie. But we could get through a lot of this stuff a little faster.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Though there is one good part.
Oh,
so he's decided that instead of saving his relationship, he's going to shoot up in the bathroom, and then black water goo comes out of the tiles of the bathroom and kind of sweeps him up. It's good.
That was wild. He like falls down a staircase at one point. That was crazy. All of the visuals, I like.
I think maybe it's just because there's a person and they put a CGI head on him. Is that how it worked? That's what it feels.
Yeah, or like
I have no idea.
Someone's in a motion suit or whatever.
Who knows? I don't know, but it definitely feels more like there's a person in a place.
Yeah. It was very well integrated into the movie. I was like, oh, this is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it works. What are the other things? I think that is truly the worst thing for me.
Yeah.
Like it was just like, well, okay.
And with any
get it. He's on drugs.
Any movie like where there's a character constantly doing like bits, you'll have some that you're like, okay, that wasn't that.
He does a lot of bits.
You're like, okay.
And he's one of those like not quite edgelord, but like just right on the edge of edgelord, where he's like, "Oh, you fucking fuck shit, cunt," and you're like, "Okay, this is funny. I like this," but he said cunt. Like, we get it.
We get it.
He said it. It can be funny a few times, definitely, but he really said it a lot.
Yeah, like all right.
Okay, he said cunt. Is that it? Like, I think the only problem I have with it is that it's just like is the music.
Yeah.
It's just like, if the music was better, Brad and I already said this, but if the music was better, it would be better. Which is probably always true.
Yeah, because, I mean, some of it I was like, I mean, this just seems nice. I had to go into like pop music brain and be like, okay, it's fun music, and at least he's trying to put some kind of meaning in it. I guess. Sure. It's not just...
That is very rare.
Your heart out.
Good for him.
Yeah. My own bias, I found the lake scene when the light came in a little hokey. I was like...
the sun coming up.
Yeah, Christian.
As he's cutting his wrists.
I was like, this is a little hokey. I don't even know what the words on his chest said. I don't even...
No idea.
But I was like, is this some, like... Christian thing. I was like, this just feels a little silly.
It seemed like it was supposed to be a sign, but I didn't know what it was.
Yeah,
I didn't know what it said to know what it says.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows? But that was a little. But hey, whatever gets you through it, I suppose.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
We can't only talk about a Better Man, though.
No.
Or just Better Man. Is there an A in there? There's no A.
Just
Better Man. We can't only talk about Better Man. We got to talk about the other things like this, like the other movies we watched this week, which brings us to a part of the show where we talk about things, including the other movies we watched this week. And Panda Express presents. Play the theme song.
Just play it. Ding dong ding 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 bam 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 ding 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 crink clonk crink. It's time for the Pan Express boop boop, because we got some things expressed ding ding about the things we watched boop boop this week. Da 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 da.
Did you watch movies this week?
I attempted to watch 2 movies.
That's a good try.
Didn't get through either of them.
Still,
I'll tell you the first one.
Please.
It was called A Matter of Life and Death.
Oh, I love that movie.
I was really enjoying it, but I started it too late, and I was like, I have to go to sleep. But this is very good. So I want to continue it, but I had to go to sleep. But it was really good so far.
I dare say... Actually, I don't. I have no reservations about that. It's my favorite Powell and Pressburger movie.
Really? Wow. Yeah. I was really liking it. I think
it's like it's probably the most dumb, maybe. Maybe that's why I like it. Or something like that, but it's just really, really
I thought
good.
It was beautiful.
It's so
cool.
So beautiful. And such great, like, ideas of like the fact that heaven is black and white.
Yeah.
And just like really smart things. It's just a great movie.
I love the goofy Frenchman.
It's a really funny movie.
I'm excited to see the rest. But and the beginning is so like, spoiler alert, like that's such an intense start. Like plane about to crash. I was like, whoa. This is wild.
It's really, really good.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Like, hello there. Who's that? You sound sexy.
I'm definitely going to die. Don't worry about it.
No, don't worry. Well, I mean, you can't send pictures of your titties or anything, but if you just say something sexy through the... I'm about to die, for Christ's sake.
This is what all the romance is dead now. Like, if we had fun, they'd have been like, I mean, could you...
I'm dying. I'm going to fucking jerk off.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of movies.
Wow, tell me.
I don't remember most of them, so I'll just tell you about one. Actually, two.
Okay.
I watched Hitchcock's The Man Who Knew Too Much, the first one.
Yes, classic.
The one from the 20s? Is that right? I think so. With Peter Lorre, among other people.
Yes.
And I thought it was pretty kick-ass.
Nice.
It kicked ass. It was quite funny. There's like a really long shootout, which right at the end, and which is cool. And I just thought it was a good flick. So if you're in the mood for like a crime, I'll just say crime movie, crime thriller, it's not one of his best.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably not even in like the top 25 of his movies, but it's somewhere around like 26 or 27, which is still pretty awesome.
Pretty good.
Still pretty good for a Hitchcock movie because he made like 90 movies.
That is true. He was a movie guy.
He was a movie. If anybody was a movie guy, he was.
Yep. I did try to watch Den of Thieves 1. Didn't quite grasp me.
How far did you get?
I got about 30 minutes in.
That's about,
And I was just like, it's just not grabbing me for some reason. I don't.
The first heist is pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was fun.
I remember thinking, I think a friend of the show, John, and I were watching it, and we were like looking at each other like when that heist was happening. I was like, oh, this might be the one.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes like when something starts, you're like, this is it. And then it's for me at least, with all due respect to other people, I thought it was not that great after that.
Yeah. I also this is just a thing. I've said it before and I'll say it again.
Say it again.
Ice Cube's son, he looks too sweet to be in a crime movie.
It's true.
I'm always like, you just look like a nice person.
Yeah, he seems like a very sweet boy.
Yeah.
That actually reminds me of a movie I watched, Den of Thieves 2.
Oh, nice.
I watched it last night.
Pantera.
And it has like a pretty good first heist and like a really good last heist.
Okay.
It's a little tedious and dull in between then.
Classic.
Which is too bad. And it has like for me, an extra tacked on ending.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's like a really good ending that happens.
Oh,
like,
no.
Right after the heist. And I'm like, oh, great ending. Awesome. And then there's like another ending.
Oh.
And there's actually kind of another ending and a half after that. Oh, no. And it's like, oh, well, what was the point of that other ending then?
Yeah.
Since you made a good ending and it completely upends everything you did with a good ending. That's weird.
That is one of my least favorite things when a movie
Not a
does
great
it.
flick.
It's like, why did you... you had it. You nailed it. And then you
that's a movie that definitely could have been 90 minutes and didn't need to be 2 hours and 15 minutes. There's just no reason for it. Because it's just a lot of, like... They're like, getting ready for the heist. They start doing that, I think it's like 15 minutes in. Maybe 20. But it's like, well, okay, you've been getting ready. Just go ahead and do it, guys.
Exactly.
How long am I going to have to wait for you guys to do this fucking heist?
Exactly.
That's why I'm here. That is the whole reason I'm here, is for you guys to do this heist. But, if you like the first one, it's whatever, around the same as that.
Yeah, about the same.
So, whatever.
What is Pantera? Is that a big spoiler?
No. It's like it's the name of the group that is It's like essentially a special
okay.
operation that is trying to catch these thieves.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So yeah, that's it.
All right.
What are we gonna watch next week? Who knows?
Who
Is it
knows?
the Wolfman yet? Tweet at us. I don't know what's happening.
I think it.
If it's the Wolfman, we're absolutely watching the fucking Wolfman.
Yeah, I think it is
because it looks awesome. And I love Lee Wannell, and it's gonna be great. And if it isn't, I'll be so fucking pissed. And I'll come on the fucking show and I'll be like, "Fuck you, Lee Wannell. I've loved you for so long, but now you fucked it up, and I hate you."
Down, you little
Mampy.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks so much for being on the show.
Always.
Thank you so much to everybody listening. Give us 5 stars. Give us 10 stars. Write us a review. Tell your friends. Follow. Like. Subscribe. Heart. Don't X. I don't know what the X is. I don't know what. Is there an X?
I don't think so.
Don't hit the X. Don't hit the X.
Whatever you do,
don't hit the X. On behalf of Mampy Hikes, I am Sean Parrott saying to all our listeners and watchers, Bon Appetit!